What's up, one and all? This is the Peace Dealer, and I just wanted to drop a short transmission, a short message. Um, the power of division is real because when you go through certain experiences and you don't know how to tell them to other people, one, because they make you vulnerable, this allows the dark forces to really chip away at you and make you feel like the issue or problem is you. And I really do mean dark forces as entities that exist, whether they have real form or not. Real forces that exist, just like you can't really see the air, just like there's certain frequencies and energies you can't even tune into because your frequency isn't just there, or we have not made devices that can pick them up, or technology that can see them. They still exist. And the power of community, the power of coming together and sharing this, you really start to realize, whoa, I'm really not alone. And I'm less alone than I really thought. This doesn't really mean that we're all intricately connected, which it can, but it's really helping me to key in this important message. A lot of you, I think, have felt that you don't really have the best luck when it comes to love. And I've said this in a previous video, a lot of mutable signs as well, like, there's been heavy interference when it comes to getting in relationships. Um, Cardinal signs, I would say that it's easy to get into it, but then it's just like an uphill battle just to maintain it before it poof. So the reason why this seems to happen out of your notice is like you have to kind of have the right mindset. There is like an archangelic dark squad that is hating on you. Just like you have like your spirit guides and positive influences fighting for your favor and grace as there is balance. Like there is spirit guides that make sure you have those serendipitous moments. You remember to wake up at the right time. Just like there are dark forces that make you forget certain things, or they influence you to make bad decisions as you have the free will to choose what to choose. No more sugarcoating. Some of you are getting straight blocked, Matumbo blocked. These dark forces are just like, what? You gonna think I'm love? Blah! Get out of my face. For real. And the good news is that having an awareness, all right, if you're wondering off the bat, well, what are we gonna do to stop this? Don't worry, hold on. You're the one with free will. So just having an awareness of this is actually gonna do very well to help remedy the situation, but ultimately, you know what I'm saying, you still just want to be present with the reality at hand. There are dark forces and influences really actively blocking love. And I really need to say this because when you try and internalize this and think that it's just you going through it, you start to not ask yourself the important questions. And if you think about this too literally, this would mean that, for example, oh, well, if Gemini is getting blocked from love, then every Gemini isn't able to get in relationships. I know a couple Geminis who are married. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to think that it's happening to every single person, but even those Geminis in relationships, it's hard for them to connect, or those relationships are very transitory. So I'm really talking about a real influence, as the battle does not stop once you get with that partner. And this is one of the most important things to understand about this like spiritual war. Like it's a battle in and of itself for you to even meet this person. That's why a lot of soulmates incarnating have destiny contracts. So not only do they have to fight the BS so that they stunt development so that they're not even really at a place their soulmate can get, which is the first front the dark forces fight at, but at least there's nothing that can happen because they're destined to meet at a certain place at a certain time. Usually partners with that, it's hard for the dark forces to get through, especially if they've known each other lifetime after lifetime, but you'd be surprised. So I really need to make this video for you because no, you're not undesirable. You're not undesirable. You don't even really have that powerful of a black magic hex on you. Because There's a good chance that someone at some point in your life might have thrown a spell on you, but those kind of stuff are weak. Like, give it a new moon cycle or two, it's not going to really be that hard for you not to get that, right? Number three, you're not doing anything wrong. You have to kind of step outside of this and think, if there was a dark intelligence hating on you, feeding you negative vibrations so that when you walk into situations, you're not even at the vibrancy to open up to love. It's, if you're aware of this, then when it starts to happen, you can really stop this, okay? But I'm trying to tell you that the suppression is on an even higher level. So some of you, all right, some of you have Pisces and Aquarius contacts. Your higher selves are just like, oh, just let me handle it. Like, at my own time, just let me handle it. This way it's cool because you can surrender to the divine. Some of you have to take a more active approach, all right, especially when it comes to being gaslighted. If we want to contextualize this, sometimes you could be hitting it off with someone and your 12th house, 11th house hits off and you don't even know. There are people behind the scenes like, oh, don't talk to this person. This person's horrible. This person raped 5 children. Meanwhile, you didn't do that. Like, lies. Like, Neptune's in Pisces, squaring Saturn and Sagittarius. Like, it's real out here. And that's not, I don't even like to use that example because it's not even, it doesn't have to be like that. Like, this is spiritual in nature. So, like, you'll go to see someone and no, flight canceled, like, no, not happening, like real interference. And some of you can't really rationalize it because not a lot of this is rational, which is another facet they get away with, right? Not a lot of this is really rational, right? So you're going to try and feel that maybe it's something wrong with you. No. Here's an example. Here's an example. Not an example. Here's an exercise. So that if you feel like you're in this situation, here's something simple you can do. It's not going to attract your super soulmate to you in day one, but I will say you will notice a positive difference. If you feel you're in that situation and there is a solid block, it's more than a block. You don't want to feel that it's personalized towards you. It's not the dark forces like, we're gonna mess with you. It's just more like how, let's just say spiritual chemtrails. Let's just say like I'm polluting a gas or an ant colony. Like, they're going to put blockages regionally and sectionally, vibrationally as well. Do you know what would happen if a Sagittarius like fully opened their heart in true love? It would change the world just with one. So they're blocking Sagittarius and Pisces off rip. Okay, now this does not mean that they're all powerful. There are some partners who are powerful and high vibrational getting together and spreading that knowledge to fight this, though. They're not getting together like, yay, we found each other. No, they're fighting this so that we can spread this. There's a reason why we can't all collectively, right? Seemingly, but we will. All right, this is the whole age of Aquarius. So the battle starts not after you get with the person. Sorry, the battle doesn't stop after you get with the person. There is a huge battle to get with the person. And then when you get with the person, the real battle starts. Because then this is when you have that sacred tango, and then you have to start working on projecting stuff not too harshly on your partner, which the dark forces will do, so that now you start to re-question all the positive feelings you had about your partner in the first place. It's the best way to get relationships on the fritz. That's why it's important to really know your partner, but that's why your relationships are on the fritz, because they'll just get them to hate each other real quick, or if their bond is too solid, then they're just gonna get people around them who really have no say over the relationship to start being like, well, I don't know about that person. I don't know that person. And it's not even them. They're just being channeled through. And I want to give you this unique perspective because if you look at this outside space and time, it's going to give you creative solutions. Regardless if what I said was even like factual, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of what I said that was pretty erroneous. I'm trying to get you less on your left brain and more on your right brain, which is erroneous to say because apparently there's scientific finding that the right brain and left brain are whatever. I don't even care. Take this as a parable, as like a story, okay? And make with it what you will. it's important for me to say this though, because you don't want to sleep on the existence of a force and negative energy that represents the collective unconsciousness. So it's not like these things came up out of nowhere. As a collective, we all have darkness. That collective darkness can now be an entity of its own with its own legion of forces, like our light. And that legion of forces does not want you to find love. So much so that the advertisements, the movies, the stuff that you see bring you away from real love, take the substance out of interactions, and lead you down a straight path so that you're just a mindless consumer. All right? They're going to push love, though, so that we can create more consumers. But really keep this in mind, that real spiritual love that will change paradigms, it's among us. So if you're feeling like you're blocked, let this also affirm that you're really very close to attracting this relationship. So a lot of you who are single feeling like you're never going to find the one, it's not about that. You probably will. There's a huge chance you're going to, out of billions, you're going to find someone who maybe they're not 100% everything you imagine, but they are just right for you. That's nothing. That's nothing. Some of you have not even had your Saturn returns and you complaining like you'll be single forever. Please, okay? If you're not maybe in your 40s and 50s and you've already had some relationships and now you're wondering, I can understand that. And even y'all, like, don't even, if you really intend it, you will. That's nothing. It's when you get in the relationship, the battle will really start. Because Jupiter will go into Scorpio. And I have to say, the relationship, it is an entity. And it's relationships in this day and age are different now. So I want to leave you with that. Y'all stay blessed. Don't necessarily, there's so much more I can say about this, but don't necessarily feel like you are not worthy of love. Just be more aware of this dynamic. And I completely almost forgot to give you the exercises that will really help key you in to being aware of it. The first step is to, when you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts, taking it in, just picture like a negative entity telling you this. It's usually from your left side or something. And then when you feel that energy, snap yourself out of it. Number one. Step two, start to fill your heart with love. And you don't even have to just start think positively. Just start to fill your heart up with positivity. You'll feel the resistance. And then step three, affirm it outward. And as if you're banishing that negativity. And watch what happens. Watch how the energy shifts, and now you're back into your center. This is something that if you just incorporate in your behavior, just something quick you do when you notice it, it may be hard at first, but it will really pick up later. So